This is the Hour with the Wolfpack Report for January, what's today? January 19th, 2016, and we're here with JD and Fano, and I'm your host, Mike. JD, how's it going, man?
Pretty good. How are you doing?
Doing alright. Fano, are you doing okay?
I'm alive.
That's always good. JD, do you have any new topics you want to talk about since you haven't been on the show for a while?
Well, I just want to talk about like the iPhone.
What about the iPhone?
Just how I think the way they save batteries, they freeze the phone. Like whenever you press the button and put it to turn it off, like not turn it off, but just you stop using it. I think they just freeze the phone. That's how they save battery. Like it turns on and on every time you press the home button or the other button. Like it turns it off. So I just think that it's weird how like the battery is not that great, but it could be like unlimited battery because they're freezing the phone. That's all they're doing.
What do you mean by freezing the phone?
Like I feel like they to get better battery, whenever you put it on the black screen, like you don't turn it off, but you put it on the black screen, it just shuts the phone off. Like everything shuts off. Like it's turning on and off a computer, but like really fast.
So you think by turning your phone off, it doesn't really turn it off?
No, I think that, but the trick is to saving battery is that they freeze it, like they just turn it off.
Oh, completely shut it down.
Yeah, because think about it, if we did that with the computer, it would save more battery, but it's just...
What's called standby, though?
No, he's not talking standby, he's talking complete shutdown.
Yeah.
But that means your phone's completely off, right?
In a way, kind of, I feel like it. I mean, because it doesn't use the internet no more or anything. I mean, I just think, there should be unlimited battery because it just doesn't make any sense that there's
your phone's still not off, though. It's on.
Yeah, I know, but what I'm saying is, I feel like, because they already have unlimited battery. You get what I'm saying? Like, unlimited energy, but they don't, they're not going to give it to us. At least not yet. All I'm trying to say is that...
Are you talking about Babylon?
Yeah, basically, there's the military and everything already has unlimited batteries, so what the fuck?
JD,
why am I still buying batteries and shit?
JD, have you tried to put your brightness all the way down and then turn off all your apps you don't use to conserve your battery?
Yeah, I do it, but I mean, they were already doing it when you jailbreak the phone. When you used to jailbreak the phone back then, we were already doing that. Like everything that it has now, we were already doing it with the whole jailbreaking stuff, the hackers and stuff.
How many hours would you like your phone to last for without recharging it?
I mean, it's fine how it is, but I just think it's tedious that because they don't want to give us unlimited energy, I have to buy a bunch of cords every time they break, and then I gotta buy batteries and stuff. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, the batteries in the iPhone now, you can't take the battery out.
Yeah, I know, but it's like the military already has unlimited battery flashlights.
What do they run off of?
Unlimited. I don't know about that, JD.
No, I don't know what kind of technology. Well, obviously we don't know about the technology, but because I had a teacher in school where she told us that she was one of the 5 people that sent the first satellite up there in space, and she told us that she's like, "How do you think that satellite's still up there? Because we already have unlimited battery. We've been having it."
Yep, JD is up there on solar power. It has solar power panels, and it gets the energy from the sun.
Yeah, it helps it, but she's basically telling us that they already figure out how to do that to the phone without having to have a panel, like you said, on the device.
So you're saying the structure itself can absorb energy?
Yeah, they figured out a way to do it unlimited.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's like
That's what she was trying to tell us. How do you think we sent it up there back in the day? And not only that, she said that they give you iPhone 6, but they already have iPhone 20. They already have it. They're not going to give it to you because they want you to pay. If they gave you the latest, then you wouldn't buy anything else.
mean they're already developed and ready to ship out, or
They already invented. They already discovered how to do it.
Well, it's the same thing with the car, though. Like,
Well, if anything, just think about it.
Well, yeah, car electricity technology, it's already, like, fully advanced. It's like what they're coming out is like from, like, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
well, a lot of people are saying that it's not the technology, it's the battery technology is what's holding everybody back. That could be better devices if we had better batteries. So
No, well, I mean, yeah, but like, I mean, everything is unlimited. Like, I don't remember where I heard, but
I mean, you are right. There is a limited energy. It's called the sun.
No, like everything balances itself. Like, there's never like a little bit of water. It's always the same. It never changes.
Do you mean everything from the Earth is
Yeah,
from the
like the
Earth?
universe is a balance. Like, you make something and then you recycle it, but then it's still there. Like, it never really.
Oh, you mean on an atomic level of atoms?
Well, that's what I was thinking about
Yeah.
today. Today, like...
That is true, though. There's only no atoms ever get destroyed. They just move.
Yeah.
I know, but that's what I was
different
thinking
areas,
about.
like ice, kind of, and you know,
What are you thinking,
yeah,
Tom?
you know.
No, about, like, God, right? And so, you know, they basically say, like, God's above you. Or no, I forgot what I was listening. Or maybe it was like a song I was listening to, but they said like God created the trees, the sun, and all that stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you really think about it, all that came from the Earth or the planet that we live on. So in theory, all of us and everything living on it is from Earth. Like that's how we exist because we can go back into Earth. You know,
Yeah, we could go to space too.
Well, yeah, but that's the thing. So it's like, you know, but then they'll bring that question of who created the Earth, and I'd say to that, well, you know, that's up to the Earth to figure that one out. I don't really feel like we should figure out what's beyond the Earth because we came from the Earth. You know.
Yeah. I hear your point here.
I mean, unless we're not from the Earth, but our bodies can basically decompose back into the Earth.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like there's no really separation between here and space. It's just it seems like it is, but there's not. I mean, it's still touching each other. If science is saying that we're molecules put together, then we're touching. It's still connected. You're still connected to space. You're connected to like anywhere in space, technically.
Oh yeah, but wouldn't though the Earth basically be connected to the galaxy then?
Yeah, it is. It's
Like,
all
that's
connected,
God.
but they make you think that it's separate. Like space is different. Yeah, it's a different atmosphere because it's more high up, but it's still connected because everything's touching itself.
Hey.
Really, yeah, like the molecules. It's just like, but we don't think about it like that.
JD,
So that's why, like I was saying, everything's unlimited because everything just gets recycled over and over again. It's like you were saying.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So is there really like? That's what I'm saying. It's like why even waste time thinking about God? So.
But yeah, I mean, it's just, I think, I heard somewhere they were saying it's just like a way to just tell you what to do.
Well, yeah.
So
that's what I was saying.
So what do you look forward to then, JD? When you
I
get
mean,
up in the morning?
Well, I mean, it's a lot of things. I mean, there's so many things you can do. You can do anything you want.
So what do you are looking forward in the future, JD, technology-wise?
I mean, I'm curious to see what comes out, but I mean, it's not my main focus. I mean, it's nice.
Would you like to have your own personal robot?
I think that's gonna be the new like slave.
Oh, here's another thing. I was watching this guy, Jacques Fresco, and he talks about the future and all these things. He says that robots will never want to take over the Earth at all because that's only a human emotion to
No, well, I think
feel that they need to conquer anything. Robots won't need to conquer anything.
no.
They're
What I
aware
think is
that they're a robot.
But I think some of it's true. Like what he's saying is true. Like the robots are gonna do all the stuff we do now. Like so, you're not gonna have to do anything. Like they're gonna be your new slave. But then robots are gonna they have to get conscience.
I wouldn't consider a robot a slave when it's a machine to.
No, but it's
human
becoming,
use.
it's getting a consciousness. Like it's gonna be able to think on itself because it's already getting smarter. Like the iPhone learns which way you go, and then
No.
Yeah.
You gotta understand that it's a program, so human programmed variables.
no, but they're making artificial intelligence. So it's basically like
You're
what we're
thinking.
doing. How you're thinking.
I don't think it's possible to do. Program a machine to adapt. To
No, you don't
situations.
program it. It learns by itself.
How would it do that? How would it learn by itself? Then it'd be organic then, right? I don't know.
Yeah, that's what it's gonna evolve to. It's
So-
like with humans, we didn't think before. You didn't have a conscience.
So do you think like aliens are just robots then probably?
No, it was just a thing that was able to think on itself eventually. I mean, we humans, we were eventually got to thinking by ourselves. Like we learned how to do that. We gained consciousness. Like your brain evolved to that.
See, but I bring up the question of, so if aliens made us, then why don't they just make robots?
No, I don't think that they made us. I think they were made somewhere, and that's who they are. But then we were made how we were made because of the Earth, and then the robots are made how they're made.
So why are we
because
making
made them?
But why are we making robots then?
I don't know. It's Google and Apple. Google's gonna make the first like robot that could think on itself.
What is Google actually? Is it a corporation?
Yeah, Google's like Skynet. That's why they make Terminator, because they know that's gonna happen.
So Google is a search engine, but they're more now. They actually make products.
Yeah, they're crazy hardcore on just.
I know
Well, they make robotics. What are you talking
Yeah.
about?
they make you can buy a Google-made robot. It says Google.
Yeah,
on it.
just type in Google robotics.
Oh, I didn't even know that. It's not like Ford or something. They don't make cars, right? I know. Did they even make phones?
Yeah, they make fucking peopleless cars.
Yeah. Well, I can't wait for that. It's gonna be awesome because I don't like driving at all. So, no, it's just JD. I don't know if you know this, but driving your car is one of the most deadliest things you can do on a daily basis.
I know, but it's because people don't pay attention. I mean, it's just like anything. They ruin it.
The worst is my job tells me to go around town walking on the streets, and man, there's just one intersection that I don't know what's happening, but no one can see me when I cross this intersection. I must have almost got hit 5 times on this intersection, and I get so frustrated because I even like purposely drove around the block a couple times to try to figure out if it's me. But then I realized, no, you can see me clearly if you're turning into this lane. So I just think people we just need the robots now because people are so gone mentally. They're not even aware of what's around them
They're not
anymore.
paying attention.
Well, it's the GMOs, man. They can't pay attention.
I didn't even think, even if it wasn't the GMOs, I don't think people would want to be aware because 90% of all people right now are like miserable. And they're just, doing anything to get away from reality, And one of the ways to get away from reality is to be on your little phone, looking on your Facebook at other people's lives and not really thinking about how your life could be a lot better if you spent a little bit more time developing it, nurturing it, evolving. But we don't want to do that because that's work. So we would rather just look at other people's life and go, oh, I wish I had their life, and then go wake up the next day and go back to their shitty existence or whatever they have to do to make money, and maybe get laid at the end of the day,
Yeah, that's what happens with everybody. I mean, but then they're just, I don't know. I don't know what happened to them. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's just, I don't understand why they give up. Like, I mean, you just gotta.
I was just watching this thing about Florida today, but they're saying like how this like town has like lead in their water right now.
It's Flint, Michigan.
Yeah, so but they're trying to say that
supposedly.
Yeah, but they're trying to say that like everywhere has lead, and like the lead like basically just makes you like crazy and shit. And so if you think about like if you can't filter your water, you got all these like fluoride, chlorine, all this shit that goes in your body, and you just basically makes you like a crazy person.
Well, you need lead. I mean, everybody has lead in their body. Lead is just a mineral, It's the quantity of the lead that hurts your body significantly. That's the bad part. Fluoride's good too. I mean, as an element, but when you make it fluoride, you're combining elements and you're making this thing that your body is like, whoa, what is this?
I mean, I think it's just like it's like that movie Inception. Like somebody could implant an idea and then that's what you're gonna do. Like you just gotta not. Because think about it, somebody's just gonna influence what you're thinking, and it's like the placebo effect. Think about it. Somebody's gonna tell you, oh, this pill's gonna do this, and then obviously if you think about it enough, it'll do it. But then what if it was just a dud, but you still did it? How do you explain that?
You can't really explain it because your whole reality is your reality.
Well, yeah, your mind is basically what does everything.
JD,
it has the power.
How do you feel?
Like the things don't have power. Like the phone doesn't have power. It's you. Like because if you could do that, if you could give somebody a pill and tell them that it's gonna make them fly, and then they believe it, then they did it. But it's just like you can't do that because that's just too extreme. Like you limit yourself to the point where you can't do it, so you won't be able to do it.
It's a very interesting thing you're saying right now.
But I'm saying though that the water thing is that water is supposed to have like ions. Like water naturally is supposed to be in motion, and so when you drink it, it's like a super antioxidant and it cleans out your whole system. And since basically they polluted the water, it's not energized. There's no like minerals in it anymore. So when people actually drink it, it really does nothing. And but now on top of that, like it not being energized, now they just add a bunch of chemicals to it, and then your body, it goes into your body. Like your body's 80% water, so it needs to like constantly take on that water. So that's what I'm trying to say. So you have like this very polluted water. I mean, you can say like, oh, it's still water, and it'll still help you out, but I mean, in reality, it's like toxic.
Yeah, like I mean,
but
think about it if it's backwards, where like the news is telling you, oh, this water's gonna kill you in this town, but what if it's the same as every town? So
that's what the thing was about.
Well, that's what I'm saying though. Like they could say oh, San Diego town water's bad, but then nobody. It's just like they just said it, but since everybody thinks it, then it affects them. You know what I'm saying? It's like more like if I told you, oh, Fano, I don't know if you drink. It's like just telling somebody something, but it's like they're influencing you. That's why like the news and stuff is like bad, because when they tell you like the weather, oh, it's gonna rain tomorrow, like they're telling you what they want you to do, like, and then it rains.
Well, yeah, but there's still things like if you eat a bag of hot Cheetos, it might make you feel good, but it also might make you feel like shit.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like, you know how you said, oh, you never really get old. Like, you just age yourself because you're told that you get old.
Yeah.
So what if you were in yeah, like, I mean, it's an extreme thought, but I mean, obviously, because you're already programmed. You're already programmed to already do those things. It's hard to, you can't even break that even if you wanted to.
Well, yeah, age. It's if you think you're young, you'll be younger.
Yeah.
Because you're telling your cells on a cellular level that information. Because it's all energy.
Yeah.
So when people get all stressed out, they're like, "Oh, I'm getting older. I'm getting older." You really are getting older because you're believing it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying with the whole water thing. It's the same thing.
I
They're
like
telling
that.
them those things, but obviously, if they tell you enough, you're gonna believe it, and you're gonna do what you said. Put in with water instead of aging.
How do you guys feel about being whatever age you are right now and not having kids? And do you feel less of a man or an adult if you don't have kids and haven't experienced the joys and also frustrations of having kids by this time? Or did you really luck out and blessed by not having kids?
I mean, I don't really. 'Cause if it happens, it happens. I mean, I think people think about it too much.
I don't think there's any difference.
Yeah. I mean, it just depends on how you feel and what people tell you. I mean, if they tell you, oh, why don't you have kids? Then obviously you're going to feel bad because they told you that. But I mean, if no one told you anything, then you probably wouldn't care.
You know, I see all these new young parents and they just look sad. They look like, I didn't know I was getting into this. And they feel kind of bamboozled, I feel.
Yeah, because they got caught up with the hype.
Energy-wise. Then I look at my father and them, and they're just like, you know, I had kids because I had kids, you know. It was no big thing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a good way of raising kids, you know. Kids should just, like, be this entity you have, and, you know, hey, you do this, good things are going to happen. If you don't, you don't, you know.
Yeah.
Choices. There's got to be choices, but I think kids are getting raised now to feel like they need to, like, accomplish something or they're going to be nothing, when really just them, you know, becoming an adult, having a job, having a family themselves is succeeding in every way, you know. So
It's just about doing whatever you want.
yeah, it's all about
There's no rules. I mean,
They're all on GMOs right now.
yeah, I mean, because they believe in everything they hear.
When you can't, nah, GMOs is real, man. It's not like
hold on. I watched
not a thought.
I watched the
No.
video about the fruits and everything, and also almost all the fruit we eat is genetically, you know, modified through just selecting better seeds. Like, take the banana. The banana used to have these really big seeds in it, you know, huge seeds in the banana. And by, you know, only picking the ones they want, they shrunk the seeds. And now, if I don't know if you know this is a fact for the day, for the hour with the wolf pack, is that bananas, a banana cannot make another banana. They have to splice a banana tree and then plant that, and that will grow a new banana tree. So
I mean,
the actual fruit that it was necessary to make a bananas cannot make a banana. Like an apple tree, you know, you eat the apple and get the seed, a new seed will make a tree. Bananas, you can't do that anymore. Well, just the selection of bananas that we eat, they can't do that. You have to actually splice a banana tree. So if the humans, you know, stop caring for these banana trees, they're just going to get wiped out by, you know, because they're already weak to begin with. So that's why they have to spray.
It's already happening though.
Yeah, they're already getting wiped out by
Yeah,
themselves.
by a fungus.
Yeah, by some fungus. But the crazy thing about it is that if humans just stop taking care of these bananas will be gone, and then the bananas that can have fruit or actually have seeds will start growing, and then the whole cycle will start over again, which is kind of amazing.
So basically, you should just not eat a banana.
No, I'm saying that nature is always going to balance itself out. eventually
I mean,
over time.
but yeah, it's just like I don't know. It's just it's unlimited. If it's unlimited possibilities, then I mean, it's unlimited outcomes. I mean, yeah, I'm sure like because you can apply any theory you want to whatever you want. I mean, whatever you want it to be, like a theory of like, because the reason why is because like the news tells you one day, oh, coffee's bad, and then one day coffee's good, and then another day coffee's bad and coffee's good. It goes back and forth. It's like, what the fuck? It could be whatever it can. Then. It could either be good or bad. Because you're telling me one day is this and one day is the other. Make up your mind. They don't make up their minds because there's no right answer.
I think the problem is that in nature, most people wouldn't be anywhere near a coffee being filled, so you wouldn't really be drinking coffee. I think that's the illusion that basically you can do whatever you want, but in reality, if you want to be super healthy, you should just basically look at what you were able to eat wherever you came from.
I mean, yeah,
like it's pretty fake that I can drink coffee all day because that's fake. You know, it's real in our reality. But it's pretty made up.
I would say since the birth of agriculture, we've been trading with other people around the world. You know, the whole spice trade from India to you know, the European continent, you know, that whole trail and all that stuff. We've been, you know, trading, so, you know, I don't think there's nothing wrong with eating stuff from other areas, but...
Well, it is if your body can't recognize it.
The thing is that a lot of diseases now are not due to not eating enough food, which till about 100 years ago was the problem. People were actually malnourished and didn't get enough nutrients, so they would, you know, disease would onset. But now we are getting diseases where we're actually eating too much food, consuming.
But we're still malnourished. We don't get enough nutrients.
And on top of it, malnourished. On top of the food we're eating.
But we're really not eating a lot of food. We're just eating a lot of sugar, and that just gets stored into your fat cells. Because if not, you basically die.
But here's the thing: is you can say we're all malnourished, but there's still more people today than there was at any other time in history. So I mean, they're doing something right in that aspect of health-wise.
Well, how do you really know?
I mean, how many people were on Earth? Say 200 years ago?
Yeah, how the hell are you supposed to count every person on Earth?
Well, they did some form of counting this, and they have it on record. So.
And they can count all the indigenous people?
No, I'm just saying in big metropolitan cities around the world where they could actually count people.
I just think it's all made up. I mean, how do you really know what's going on around the world if they didn't tell you?
That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, they tell you what to think.
But we have the power of Skype. You can Skype somebody in France right now if you wanted to, and you can ask them what's going on right there. They can give you their opinion of that area right now, which is a beautiful thing in itself.
But how do you know you're talking to a person?
I mean, well, okay. I mean, well, I guess I just gotta say you gotta believe in the faith, you know. You gotta believe it.
I mean, were you, like, I don't know, just talking to a person that's supposedly in a different place?
Well, I guess you can do the Skype video and you can actually physically or see it through a digital.
It's just how you manifest yourself, I mean.
That's what I'm saying. Why get so bamboozled by all this energy and just be focused on your own little energy of where you are, what you're doing?
I'm amazed that a lot of people want to travel to Earth and they don't really know why. And, you know, I see a lot of people on their Facebooks or dating websites, you know, they're number one or number two or number three thing on their
I know why. I already know why.
They want to travel or I want to see the world. And I think they want to accomplish something that a lot of people want to do, but I don't think I think it's accomplishment not to go anywhere. You know how much energy it has to take to not go places, you know? You ever thought about to like, because on random things you might have somebody be like, hey, I have some extra tickets, you want to go? And for you to say no is a choice in itself.
I think it's because people don't have like society doesn't teach you to like love yourself and figure out your abilities. So people are always looking outside. So like a lot of
They don't
people.
want you to see how powerful you are.
Well, yeah, so that's why people want to travel so much, and they say it's like beautiful and stimulates their mind, all this stuff. It's because they never got to be stimulated inside about how beautiful like they are. They're just always looking for like the next high, basically.
Well, I think it also goes back to how everybody's ultimately miserable in their day-to-day functions, and they look forward to that escape of.
Well, yeah,
I'm
if you had to
going
work
here.
a 9 to 5 and you couldn't travel, they'd probably fucking not work 9 to 5s.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
it's probably just-
all they would have to do is not work that 9 to 5 anymore, and give up some amenities of living in this part of town or driving this kind of
Yeah,
automobile.
but that's their fault for selling out. I mean, you
I-
got to
I don't
you got to
think-
choose whatever you wanted to do, and they
But-
sold out. I mean, that's what they get. I mean,
But JD, do you think they're consciously selling out, or that's all they know?
no, they know they did, but they can't live with themselves. But there's nothing they can do. I mean, they're too scared to go back. I mean, you can still change it, but they don't want to. It's never too late.
Yeah, I mean, I think people are waking up and saying, that a lot of this game they're playing with us, is kind of foolish, and they're kind of winning for no reason. We could demand a lot more, and they would give it to us.
Yeah, but people go back and forth. I mean, one day they want to believe and the other they don't. So it's like, well, that's what you get. I mean, you get what I'm saying? Like, they say one day, okay, I will. What I'm saying is true, then nothing can hurt me, like the food or the whatever it might be out there. But sometimes you want to believe that, and sometimes you don't. So people are inconsistent. That's what they do. They go one day, oh yeah, that's true. I should just do whatever I want. And then when it comes to doing it, they don't want to do it. So it's like, what the fuck? I mean, just go and do it. Actually do it. Everybody preaches, but nobody does it. So it's like pointless. Anybody can say anything, but nobody does shit. So it doesn't matter.
So you're-
That's what's happening today, right now. All these people are saying all this shit, but nobody's doing it.
so you're
Like how they talk shit about Trump, but they're not running for president.
Yeah, or like at least they're gonna go vote for somebody. It's like don't vote for anybody then shit. Or don't even accept whoever they vote for. Say no, well, I don't believe in what you believe, so you don't.
But my other coin to it is like, why don't people, have their opinion, but not be so indulged in the opinion? Like, you can have your belief, but don't like hate somebody. 'cause of,
yeah.
someone
Yeah,
else.
don't try to convert somebody else into it.
I have this whole thing with religion right now, and I'm trying to contemplate is what is religion? Is like these people, they get all upset like, oh, abortion's bad, and God told me that abortion's bad, but I don't see any of these people signing up to adopt these babies that are going to be orphans, and no one wants them.
Everybody's a hypocrite. So.
Yeah, it's like, really, come on, people. Like, let's realize that, everybody's in a glass house and you shouldn't throw rocks here. Like, you don't know why that person needs that abortion or wants the abortion or, like, it takes a lot of strength to go to the abortion clinic and have this person do this procedure on you, and then you have also the ultimate thing of maybe this dude or person who's doing the procedure messes up and you cannot have kids anymore because of it,
Yeah, there's no right answer, but they want to have one right answer.
I just like you said, JD, people just don't want to look at themselves in the mirror, and that scares them, so they go pick on, like, trying to save everything.
Yeah.
Because the biggest deception is that they preach that you're not God. And the reality that I believe is that you are God. That's why you're supposed to look at yourself and reflect yourself. Because the thing is, like, they have this whole teaching, and it's always, like, based off of the outside. And so, like, you're always changing. Yeah, you're always changing the outside, but in reality, it's all just about working in the inside and never expecting anything on the outside.
Well, yeah, that little voice that talks to you when you're gonna do something stupid and tells you no, that's God. right?
Well, that's also yourself, though.
It's
Yeah,
even
that's what I'm saying. Well, that's what I'm saying.
That's
But-
what I'm saying.
Yeah, but what religion's saying is, oh no, that
No,
little
it's God.
boy's no.
Yeah.
But what they're saying that little boys wrote this book down, and this is what you're supposed to do, and it's like no, that little boy still exists. It's unlimited because it's you. But the religion tells you, oh, that little book is the voice, and it's like no, like what you said, yeah, like what we said. But it's just you tell somebody that, and they're gonna be like, oh, okay, because they're. I don't know, they're just scared of themselves, like Mike said.
Yeah.
No, I think they're more miserable with themselves. And today I was walking around and I see these people in their little relationships holding hands at the beach or at the park, and I was like, are these people even happy? Or are they just programmed to have to go here and talk? Are they happy?
What happens is, you know how if you go in a silent room that's like a sound studio, like a music booth where it's just all soundproof, and then you go in there and it's super quiet, and people go crazy because they don't want to listen to themselves. They hate themselves. So if you talk to yourself, like we said, and that's why but that's what basically happens. Like also like that forest in Japan or Asia, wherever the hell it is.
The dead
where
forest
people,
or something?
that's why in that forest in Asia, like where people commit suicide, it's not that the forest is scary, it's just that it's quiet, and then it's helping you find out who you are, and then you're too scared to find out who you are, so you kill yourself.
Well, that's what I say. People are pussies. Well, what I learned in my motivation tapes is you figure out who you are. And I always felt like that was a very frightening experience, but after I dealt with it, I felt a lot better. But when I look at a lot of people, like I asked them if they figured out who they are, and most people haven't. And I just feel like, well, then it's like you don't know yourself. Like because what it teaches you is that life is basically all the stuff on the outside of you making you who you are on the inside. But the whole process of it is to wipe all that away and figure out really who you are.
Yeah.
And that's what you live in, and that's who you are. So if you never really do that, you're literally just a combination of everything that's around you through your whole life experience.
Yeah, that's why people can't meditate.
Yeah.
Or they're just casually dating and don't know what they want. I was dating this girl last month, and you know, she broke it off with me, and I asked her point blank. I was like, "Well, do you even know what you want?" And she's like, "No." And I was like, "Well, how do you know if I'm not the one?" And she's like, "I just know." And I was like, "I guess you're not really telling me the truth, or you know, you don't know what you want, and really." You just don't realize what you do want. So it was kind of a trip.
It's because what's happening is if you don't love yourself, then you can't receive love. So she goes with somebody, and then since she doesn't love herself, then she can't receive love. So then she's never gonna find anybody. That's what she doesn't realize.
But I also think the big thing, what I notice, is that people think they're supposed to like feel like some spark, like if they met themselves, you know, and they're so happy, and that's the person, you know.
Yeah.
That's what people believe so much.
No, what you mean you can, but I mean, like it goes back to like how Mike was saying that she told her, I just know. It's because like she'll never know because she can't connect with anybody because she doesn't love herself.
Yeah, it was kind of funny because I asked.
She's blocking herself. Like she blocks you. She blocks your energy, so you can't connect with her. You get what I'm saying? Your energy can't connect with her because she's blocking it.
Yeah, it was like it's a crazy thing. As the more you find out about somebody, the more you really don't like them. And so when you really say nothing to somebody, you're actually making they like you more because you're mysterious now, and like a mystery to them, which they find more attractive.
Well, no, there's a book on it. It's like, basically, when you get to know somebody, you find out that they're just yourself. And so if you don't like yourself, then you basically start not liking the person. Because they're going to bring out your bad side or who you really are, you know, which you've been avoiding. That's why people don't like stay in real relationships. They're just constantly dating, hooking up, and not really getting to know somebody. Because they're just really finding out who they are.
I was listening to this guy, and he was talking about there's three kind of relationships. There's, there's an independent relationship where both parties are independent from each other and they collaborate once in a while. That's actually the best relationship you said you should be in, is both of you are independent and you just come together once in a while because you enjoy each other. Then there's codependent relationships where someone's feeding the other person's insecurity, or they're both feeding both of it. And those are the most toxic and the ones you don't want to be in because of that scenario, is that you're feeding bad behaviors and they're like either really, great for a second and then just terrible for another second and then great. And then there is the independent, independent and then coexisting, which is that you're both collaborating with each other, but you're so happy about your independency, whatever you're doing, that you guys can mingle but are okay being alone. And that's the best relationship you should be in, which I thought was kind of interesting. I went back to my relationships I had, and learning that, one of my exes really had a codependency with me, and really all the stuff she wanted from me was just her being codependent. She didn't really even love me. She was so codependent on, me for sex, me for driving her, me for taking her places, me to talk to her, me to tell her I love her, that she didn't even care about any of me. And that's the crazy part, is that people are going through real relationships now, not even being realized like how much, growing you need to do before you even should be in a relationship,
Yeah, but how is it you onto that person?
Well, I was more of an independent to her. I was in my zone, doing my thing. I was happy to see her when I saw her, but I wasn't like,
So you're saying you never wanted to hang out with her?
No, I didn't want to hang out with her as much as she wanted to hang out with me. And I told her this, and she would get upset because she didn't want to deal with her issues, which was that she needed to be in her mind, she needed to be with her partner all the time to feel satisfied. And, what she really needed to do is just to have love for herself. And once she did that, then she would say, oh, I respect
Yeah, but did
him.
you ever hang out with this person just to hang out with them as your friend, or was it always about sex?
No, there's lots of times we hang out, because you can only have sex for, I don't know, an hour maybe? An hour and a half?
No, I'm saying, were there times where you didn't have sex and you just hung out with the person?
Oh, yeah, plenty of times. But a lot of the times were her just needing to be there because of her issues with herself.
No, but I'm saying, what about you onto the person, not this person onto you?
I enjoyed going to places with her. But, not being with her made me as happy as being with her, So I learned that, I'm more like an independent collaborator in a relationship, which makes me happy,
So you never wanted to basically hang out with some girl because you missed her?
Oh, yeah, I did. But that's...
So how does that make you independent then?
No, that's an independent collaboration, though. Do you understand that there's the, the ones that else I was talking about, where it was more of them, like, using the other person in a way, Codependence. Codependence is different than being independent with understanding that, hey, I like to collaborate with this person and I enjoy them and I'm going to go hang out with them when I have time, but this person's not going to stop me from doing what I'm doing, You see the difference? When you're codependent, your whole life revolves around this person for nourishment.
Yeah, but women can say that though a lot because guys just want to hook up with chicks. So for a woman, she only hangs out with you every once in a while and you hook up and she just feels like she's being used.
Well, here's the thing is that I think that's bullshit too, because men do appreciate having a woman. Men do appreciate...
But that's why I just asked you, like,
I think
when you
women...
hung out with this person, was it just like you'd hang out, you want to have sex, and then,
No, there was plenty of times we just hanged out and have sex and she would leave.
But your choice or her choice? Your choice or her choice?
That was a mutual.
Okay, sure.
I mean, every time, no, we didn't have sex every time.
But that'd be true independent of what you're talking about.
No, I'm saying that in a relationship, that the best relationship, what this guy was saying, was more of a working together but being independent from each other. Both independent meaning being happy about what you're doing, who you are, what you're about, and being comfortable with that.
Like an open relationship.
Yeah, no. Just being happy with yourself, loving yourself.
But I think that's where it. I feel like just how the school system is like outdated. It's also the same with like relationships.
Yeah, it's really sad right now because you really cannot connect with the other opposite sex. I'm having difficulties, but like you said, once the sparks happen, then it's for real,
Yeah, because if you're on molecules, then you connect, and then you guys bond. Like it connects, it works. It's a connection. It's an actual connection.
Yeah,
what they say.
What this guy was saying was really trippy. Is like you really just gotta be who you are, and then the person that will accept that's the one you should really respect. People that are like, oh, I'm not cool with that. Then you're like, all right, whatever. Move on.
You just gotta follow your intuition. But people are tricked, and they're like, oh, well, I'm just gonna be with the chick that's hot or whatever. And then it's just like, well, you're ruining your chances of meeting who you're supposed to meet because you have this thought that it has to look like this.
Well, yeah, and a lot of men will just hang around, and once they sleep with them, then they're like, all right, I'm moving on, And I think men need to own up and, not do that anymore, and women need to stop.
Because people don't have balls. They're like, oh, well, I need to have a hot chick, so then everybody thinks I'm cool because all my friends are going to make fun of me if my chick is not hot, whatever. I don't know what hot means. I mean, I know how to definition. Who the hell knows what hot is? But we think we do know what hot is, and it's whatever we see as a model or whatever. So then you want to find a chick that looks like a model, so everybody thinks you're cool. But that's just being you insecure by yourself.
Yeah,
Why don't you make it a goal to date the ugliest girl, which we view here as ugly as hell, right? We have a ranking system, which is pretty fucked up.
Well, I went on this date with this chick, and then she, I don't know, it basically seemed like she was into me. And then the next 2 days, she was like, "Oh, I don't think it's gonna work out." And then I told her how do you? Because she's basically felt like, "Oh, I didn't feel like that spark," or you just know when you meet that person. And then I was just like, "Well, I normally date people as you date them, and then you see if you like them. Because how do you know somebody just off of hanging out with them for 3 hours or something?" I was like, I've been in enough relationships where you fall in love with that person down the road. It's like a friend, you're in school, you meet somebody and then you talk to them, and then the next day you talk to them, and then you just keep talking to them, and then become your friend.
Yeah, it can go either way, but everybody thinks that it has to be.
But that's what I'm saying. What's so twisted about this dating stuff is that women are believing that it's supposed to be instantaneously, and that's the whole thing about how everything's instant. But anyways, the whole point of the story though is I told this person, and then they basically wanted to keep seeing me, and they're like, "Oh, thank you for putting that perspective in my head."
Yeah, because people don't think like that. When I talk to people, it's like they got hit by foreign language that they never heard, just because it's a different way of thinking.
Right.
What basically you do, you pass on to people the way you think, and then maybe they choose to think like you do, or they don't.
Well, that's what I'm saying, and I was just being honest, and then I guess I broke the barrier. What this person was thinking.
What you really did is you connected with her on an emotional level. What all women want is just a deep emotional connection with you. And once they have that with you, it's hard for them to leave you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's like what you said, Fano, because I remember when I was in high school, all these chicks would fall in love with me, and it's there were some chicks that I was like, I never have a chance with them because just on what they want. But then since we were friends, it will build up to more, and it's just what you said. So it could either be instantaneous or it takes time.
But I'm just saying, on the dating scene nowadays, is people are just think it's I mean, my whole thing is if you're attracted to a person, I think that's good enough. Now, as far as if you're gonna be in a long-term relationship, it's get to know the person. But if you think someone's ugly, I don't think that's not natural for you to date someone you don't think's attractive, you know.
Yeah, no, but I mean, you can't be fucked up about it. Just be like, you're not my type.
Well, you know.
But then, and then another thing is like, but I don't mind. I understand that, but the problem is how you got these guys that are with these models, and then they have kids with them, and then they realize like, I hate this person, but then they're screwed because they already had a kid, and then it's just like, you should have just been real with yourself, and you would have never brought somebody into this world just because of because you couldn't be real with yourself and being like, oh, I like ugly chicks, but I didn't end up with the ugly chick because I knew my friends would make fun of me, and now I had a kid with a model chick, but I hate this chick. I should have ended up with the ugly chick. But you see what I mean? That's where it's a problem.
Well, yeah, the looks override the personality.
Yeah, because you're
the
pre-programmed to all this Hollywood bullshit over. You gotta look like this.
Well, also both of them don't want to work on their relationship and having a compromise. Well, you know, if I do this for you, you need to do this for me. You know, and they don't want to do that, and I see that in a lot of relationships I've been in, and
yeah,
you know, and seeing is that people don't want to give ground. It's like,
well, yeah, it's like what they say. It's like what they say. Like models date their photographers because they talk to them all the time, and not only that, but then these fools are like supposedly ugly according to society. But that's who the models date because they're real with themselves. So, but we see a model with the ugly guy, and we're like, oh man, how did that happen? Right?
Well, I mean, a lot of the models sleep with the photographers because the photographers are the system, and they're like, hey, I like this person, put her on the thing. So, you know, it's her advantage to sleep with him. Which I don't think anything should be wrong with that. You know, if you have something somebody wants and you want something from them, hey, go ahead. You know, trade. You know, no big deal.
Yeah, that's how it is. I mean, just all I'm saying is be real with yourself. If it happens to be that both of you guys are.
Here's a thought I thought about today, JD. I want you to maybe collaborate with me on it. Women in general are, you know, these objects of desire. And I was thinking about if women just walked around, you know, not naked, but like in Europe where, you know, breasts are not that big of a deal because you go to the beach there and there's breasts all over the place and you see them and you kind of don't, you know, they're not like, oh, they're not some special thing anymore, you know. I think in a way, that actually makes women less attractive in a way. When you already know, you can see the breath. Oh, that's cool, you know? So the whole thing of the...
That's why they censor shit.
No, I think they do that. And I had this contemplation today. It's like, man, I think they really keep women from not showing their breast off for that reason, to make them more desirable. Because if they were just walking around naked all day, and men too, men were just walking around naked all day, you know, like all animals, you know, we don't even see animals as naked anymore, you know, but if you look at a dog, he's just basically naked, walking around.
Yeah, it's all in your mind.
Yeah, but I think about sexual desire would even be that big of a deal anymore because we would see all these people naked all day and we're like, you know, it's just a penis or it's just some breasts, you know. It's like, oh, that's an ass, you know, no big deal. Hey, what are you about? You know, and then you would have to actually be emotionally, you know, connected with this person to find them attractive. And if you do that, then you can't really sell anything because, you know, sex really sells. You know, it makes people do crazy things a lot, you know. Like people will buy a car just to get with that woman or thinking they need to wear this suit or...
Well, yeah, what they're doing is they're trying to make you think that they have the power.
I know, it's very interesting. So I think
it's pretty fucked up.
I know, it's crazy. So what do you think? Do you think if you saw breasts all day walking around, would they feel like that great anymore after a while? You know?
No, because it's like if you went to Europe right now and you were there for a year, you would adapt, so you wouldn't care anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what happened. So if we all did it here, then we would adapt and we wouldn't care anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not that big of a deal.
I know, breasts are not that big of a deal, but people make it out.
Well, none of it is a big deal. It's just we don't see it.
Yeah, we make it.
And then they add energy to make it a big deal.
You give it power. It's like
It's crazy how it's illegal for a woman to show her breast in public. I'm like, what? How is that
because
illegal?
because then you're breaking that.
You know,
It's like retaliation.
that's
That's why
crazy.
they make big deals about that.
That's crazy. A woman can get arrested or or get a
What do you
ticket
think-
for
what-
showing
what-
her breast in public. It's
Well,
crazy.
well, yeah, what do you think they're so against breastfeeding in public? That's why they're against it, because they don't want it to happen. Because I mean,
Yeah, they can't sell
Yeah.
formula that's poisoning
Yeah.
kids.
Well, no, this one guy explained it like, well, he was talking about like GMOs, but he was just like, if they showed how you could cure cancer, right, through like food, that just breaks down one barrier, and they're so afraid that because if people saw that, like how it's real, like that's a real possibility through food, you can fix all your diseases. That aspect will change people's thought patterns so much that they'll question everything. So they have to basically keep all these puzzles in place and make up illusions and lies about
yeah,
why you can't do it, or like why a woman can't show her tits, or why she can't breastfeed, because then they can't sell baby. It's like all these things, but literally, if you just
domino effect.
yeah, so it's a domino effect. But what's so crazy, if you could convince the whole world about one idea that's really holding us back, everyone's brain would basically like open up.
Well, they will make it
Possibility.
happen. They will manifest it. That's what happened with 9/11. They manifested it. They put that in your brain, and we consciously, as a conscience together, it happened. That's what happened with that. I mean, that's my theory.
Well, yeah, but even the whole idea of how it happened, they shot out there so much that you believed it versus questioning what really happened.
Yeah, your conscience made it happen, basically. Yeah, like you said, because it's like it's just brainwashing. Like they're telling you what to make happen, just with weather. Like we do it as a collective, so they tell you to think that it's gonna rain and it's gonna rain. So that's why it happens, and it's the same thing that happened with that accident. I mean, it was just
It
all
was
of us.
it was pretty amazing seeing people very upset about those two planes going in that building, and then people not even questioning, like, no one even blames, like, how's the military get an okay, like, how'd you let planes go into that building and not do anything about it? Like,
Well,
isn't there
it's
like
just-
protocols where like there's no fly zones where it's automatically tripped, to send fighter planes up there to like go and check that out and see what's going on? I mean, these planes were hijacked for a while before they actually, went into these buildings, because I don't know if you know that, Manhattan, you cannot fly planes around there. Anything goes in that area is spotted on radar, like, and quick. So there's a big old conspiracy going on with that, too,
Well, yeah, I mean, because people are questioning, like, just in general, like, how it all happens. I mean, because it's like, it's either could be that we all made it happen, or maybe it's just like what they say, that it's just a way to make you get scared.
Well,
It's
even more
Yeah.
amazing is, like, they
Because
killed...
fear is stronger than love.
Whoever killed these people died. This building fell down.
Yeah,
This building
yeah,
had
I'm not
asbestos and all kinds of crap in it that
Yeah, I'm not saying it didn't
that
happen, but I mean,
polluted
I'm
that
saying-
whole area. And there's now like firefighters and police officers that were there that day who are ultimately sick because of their exposure to all that asbestos and everything down there.
Yeah, but they accomplished what they wanted, and that's
Yeah.
why you're scared.
The crazy thing is that the people who are controlling the thing are like, you know what? Fuck them. They're not important. Who cares? I need to get over to this goddamn Iraq and pump this fucking oil out. Like.
Well, no, the other thing that I saw was that, like, even with all these events, like, say if they're tragic events, like, basically the intelligence knows that's going to happen. But then if they actually acted and said, oh shit, we know, and actually couldn't save everyone, then they would be blamed, like, straight up. So instead of them fucking with it, they're just like, let it just play out, and then we'll just go after it and figure it out. That way we can't get blamed.
Yeah, and then they cry and they need some
It's
more
kind of like
money.
watching someone getting punched in the face. It's like you can go in between them, you get punched in the face, but now you're part of the involvement. Or you can stand in the back line, watch it happen, and then you're not involved.
Yeah,
Um,
it's
It's all smoke and mirrors.
I know, that's why I don't believe in patriotism anymore. I don't believe that, we should join and have an army as big as we do. For what purpose? We just go around being bullies and around the world. It's crazy.
I mean, I feel like with that, it's just the emperor or whatever, the president nowadays. I mean, back then you had emperors or kings or whatever. It just changes names, but it's the same thing. Or labels, whatever you want to call it. So we used to have kings and whatever we had and shit. Now we have president.
Oh yeah, we have corporations now.
Well, yeah. And what I'm saying is that, like,
you have like
all
10 people.
All the military and shit. All the military is just to protect the emperor.
Yeah, we have like 10, I don't know, what is it, 10 or 20 very, very important people that own like every corporation in America, and these people dictate, who's going to be president, what laws are going to go into effect, and they all benefit them, and we get, shitted on constantly, And like some people are just like, hey, I'll give up my rights. I'm okay with the government reading my emails every day as long as I'm free, as long as I'm, terrorists don't come here. And I'm like, well, the terrorists are still going to come no matter what because they need the terrorists to come to get their shit passed so they can start fucking you even more,
No, because then if they didn't, then you would question, why are you checking my email?
Yeah.
That's what I was talking about earlier. It's all like it's basic. It's just like a spell. Like you have to cast one spell to make the person believe something else. It's like if you want to convince someone to do something for you, you have to give them options.
It just goes back to what you said, like an illusion. Because I mean, we all know that the president doesn't really run shit. He's just like a puppet. Because they learned what happened to Julius Caesar. Like they killed him. So in order to avoid that, now you have a decoy, which is the president. But the president really is running shit. You're never gonna know him because then we got millions of people against one person. That's why they have a military to protect them, not to protect you, to protect them. In case you ever fucking wake up, then they get you. But they learned that through history. Because remember, we had kings and emperors. It's the same shit. It just evolved. So they got smarter. They need a bigger army to protect us.
Yeah, they're trying to stop coups, basically. Every coup. That's how, the Communist Party back in the 40s. The whole, freedom for minorities in the 60s and 70s. Those are all coups that they wanted to stop. So they just took out the leaders, those coups,
Yeah, you chop the head off and that's how you defeat it. But they know that. So that's why they protect the head. It's like chess. The chess game. I mean, it's the same shit.
I think it's more complex now because they don't have to like chop your head off. They can just basically say like you're a bad person and just throw all this illusions out there.
No, but I mean, everything keeps going.
No, but I think what they figured out though was that all they have to do is just give you options about each scenario. Like for people who really believe like you can take down, like that's what I'm saying. If you want to change the idea of everything, you just go after like food, for example. That's it. And you just go and show people about food, and through that thing, you'll start unlocking one aspect of reality, and that open up everything else. Like you don't need to really talk to people about, being a Republican or Democrat or anything. You can just basically talk about water.
Yeah, but they blackmail you if you do
water.
But they'll blackmail you if you do that shit.
But you're fighting the one thing you can't fight, which is that humans will always be humans, and humans are destructive against other humans. So no matter, even if you do the health thing, they're just going to come up with some other way to control you through something else. It's always about the control and dominating you and making you feel like you need them. Like, we need them. No, we don't. We don't need the store. We don't need power. I don't know if anybody noticed that we used to have, like, candles back in the day, and there was no power, and people got along, just fine without their power and their computers and and their stores. They had to work a little harder, but they were fucking just as much as they're fucking now. They're having kids and they were just being happy.
And if you disobey, what happens? You go to jail, and then that's basically how it used to be back then.
Well, no, man, they didn't even have jail.
Back like in Egyptian times.
There wasn't even that, there was no like, who are you? You have to give a person your license now. Back then you didn't do any of that shit. You just said who you were. And you go, okay, alright, whatever, moving on. But now, shit, your identity is this goddamn piece of paper, this picture on your ID. That's your identity, Yeah,
if you believe that, it just goes back to that. Because, if you don't do what they tell you to do, then you go to jail. And then that's basically how it used to be back in Egypt and back in the day.
Well, I was also thinking about police officers and how they have a pretty fucking crazy job if you think about it. They go around enforcing laws, and if you don't want to obey those laws, then they have to basically seize you and put you in handcuffs and take you to this box. And if you don't really want to go to that box, you can fight them. And then they're going to have to fight you back, and then you might actually die. And everybody's okay with them shooting you at that point, because you resisted arrest and put this police officer in danger. And I'm like, where's his rights? He didn't want to go to jail. He has every right to not want to go to jail, But no, you have to go to jail no matter what, and sit in there and wait for your time to talk to this judge, and then this judge, who's a fucking bullshitter to begin with. He doesn't even have power, he has to do whatever they say, He doesn't like a judge back in the day would actually listen to you and look at you and be like, you know what? You're right. He was a little too harsh on you. Let him go, But now they have all these mandatory minimum bullshit going on now.
Well, because like I said, they pass all this other stuff where it's like if they don't do that, then people question all these other things.
Yeah. I think if you give people more free will, people will just fucking go crazy.
Well, no. What happens is
people are just gonna go crazy.
Like if you have rules, your instinct's gonna be to break them. That's why they put you the rules. That's why they exist, so you could break them. As simple as that.
I never thought about that.
Well, yes, simple as that. That's why the rules exist. If there was no rules, unlimited food, unlimited homes, there wouldn't be a problem.
So you would.
There could be that. There could be that, but there could be that. But
hold on. You're saying that if there was a limit at everything, people would just stop eating just to break the rule?
Everything would just work itself out, but there's rules.
Yeah, and it goes back that you can't fight the animal in you, huh? You really can't.
It just goes back to, it just doesn't make any sense. Why can't there be food for everybody? Why can't there be a house for everybody? It's just all bullshit. It doesn't make any sense.
The craziest thing is there is food for everyone, and there is houses for everyone. I was watching this thing of how, there's places with abandoned houses around America.
Yeah.
And then I was thinking, people go there and do drugs, but then I was just thinking, why don't they just fix those up and give them to those homeless people to live in for free? Why do we have abandoned houses and yet we have homeless people? Or we have people that can't afford houses, and yet there's areas where people could live.
Well, yeah, because it's the same faith. Well,
that's the thing. It's so they can't have the illusion that you should pay for your house unless they have abandoned houses. And it's the same thing with food. They throw away tons of food.
Yeah, because then you don't have to work, and then you can figure out who you are, and that's not.
That's the thing. If they gave people food, then yeah. But that's what all the whole meditation about and being spiritual is about, is finding out that everything's made up.
Well, I believe the homeless are out there. They're just advertising. This is what happens when you don't listen to your master. You have to be out here, in the cold. They make it some dramatic
they make you an
thing.
example.
Even though they're probably the most healthiest people. They're out in the sunlight all day. They're walking around. They're not sitting in front of a TV screen miserable all day. think about what they're gonna eat at 5, which place they're gonna drive their car to get their already made prepared food that they
because they
pay way too much to do.
They dropped out. That's what.
It's crazy, man.
That's what like the Matrix tells you.
It's crazy.
What happens when they drop out in the Matrix? Then everything's like you're homeless. It's the same thing.
It's crazy, man. You go to the goddamn store. You go to a bar or whatever. You gotta spend $10 to get a burger. Like one hamburger, it's $10. If you went to the actual store, you can get organic meat for $5, bread, tomato. You get all that, and you have a meal for the whole week for $10. But no, these people they just don't care. They're just like, I'm just gonna go eat this burger because I want to be status up. Look at me.
What does that make us though?
I know people. You tell people I don't eat out, and they just look at you all funny, like what? And I think it's really just like they can't connect with you. So when they can't connect with you, they automatically assume that you're different, and they can't. They don't want to be any part of you.
But what I'm saying is, what does it make you or us? Since we're saying that the homeless are the real ones that actually.
Oh, they're the freest, bro. They're the freest. They just, dude. I've seen so many homeless people just walk in the middle of the street. No one even says anything to them. No one cares. Everybody just slows their car down, waits them to walk the street, and that's some real power right there. If you think about it, not even caring if you're gonna get hit by a car, and I'm just like, fuck it. I know no one's gonna hit me.
Them, right?
Yeah, they don't care. And everybody stops. No one wants to deal with that, That's the craziest thing, I was seeing this homeless person who has this dog, right? He's in a wheelchair. I see him when I'm around town. He has his dog and he just sits out there because he's in his chair and he has his dog there. Puts his sign out, veteran needs help me out, And I saw this lady come up to me and he's like, does your dog need any dog food? I have dog food in my backpack. And he was like, no, he's got dog food, but I may need to buy some dog food tomorrow. And so she gave him $5. I'm just like, oh my gosh. These people,
Well, I mean,
she cares more about the dog than this dude in a wheelchair. Worrying about the dog's food, supplies. It's just mind-boggling.
Well, it's all, she's probably a Christian, too.
Probably, I don't know. People get off, making sandwiches and going up to drunk homeless people in the park. I'm like, hey, you want this sandwich? And they're just like, I don't know. Oh, what's in it? Turkey? Okay, I'll take it. And they eat it and they go back to sleep and get ready for their night of walking around getting drunk, what a life right there,
Well, that's why everyone lives in the cities in hell.
Yeah.
That's why I don't believe anyone that says that this city that we live in is amazing and the world is wonderful. I just think you're full of shit.
Yeah. But if you don't ever get out of here, then you never know.
Well, I'm saying if you actually live in the city and go oh no, the world's wonderful, and I don't know, I don't like people that basically say it's like seeing someone getting beat with a baseball bat and looking at it well, that's not that bad. It's not that bad.
You could have got shot, or stabbed. Mm. But, we do have it, or in America, a little bit better than, say, anybody living in Brazil or something,
Well, because there's no balance, so everything's thrown off.
I mean, it's amazing how how is America able to have it somewhat calm, people not really killing them, and there's other places that have just as much resources as we do, and they don't even do the bare minimum for their people. It's crazy. It's but people are I love where I come from, I miss that, but America's better, it's just bizarre to me sometimes when I meet foreign people.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's it depends what makes you happy. I mean, if a bunch of things make you happy, then more power to you. I mean, that's your thing, but not everybody's the same. That's the thing. That's the problem. Nobody can just be what we keep talking about. Nobody can be themselves. I mean, we all gotta have the same shit and do the same shit and I don't know, say the same shit. I mean,
well, that's what I'm
who you
saying.
are.
That's what I'm saying. Though. It's like I can say that, people that think this is great is bullshit, but I can still talk to people, and if they don't believe that, like I'm not gonna like hate them.
Yeah.
But I talk to people that have beliefs, and they're like hardcore about it, and they're just like, "You're an idiot," or "You're this," and "You're that." And it's like, no, I'm just experiencing life through my own perspective, but. I mean, that's why you just can't talk to people because they don't want to talk.
Especially don't talk about religion or politics or, your views about abortion. Because people get all upset for no fucking reason, I don't even know why when I watch these presidential debates and they bring up the abortion thing, it's like, dude, the government already decided abortion is legal. Like, you cannot repeal abortion at all. Never. Because the judges already agreed. Like, no, this is legal. You can't do it. And they just keep bringing it up. And it's like, dude, it's like Morgan Freeman said. It's like, how do you get rid of slavery? How do you get rid of racist? Is Morgan Freeman says, you just gotta stop talking about it. You gotta stop saying I'm black. Just say I'm an American.
Well, the reason why with abortion is it could be either way because if you have free choice, anything you choose is whatever you choose in that too. There's no
now
wrong,
here,
right?
let me hit you with this, JD. Say you're with your woman and she says she's pregnant and then she says I'm gonna get an abortion.
Yeah,
how would you feel about that? Would you feel like, no, I want you to have this child, even if you said that and she still said no, I'm gonna have an abortion? And you'd be like, okay.
Then that's their choice. I mean, They'll be like, okay. Because why am I going to say, no, do it, and then now the kid doesn't have a mom? It doesn't make any sense.
But there's these crazy fuckers that think that's crazy. That even women, it's crazy how women think it's, it's just mind-boggling, these pro-life, or these pro-life women. And it's like, how are you going to tell another woman, like, to say they can't not have a child or have a child, it's just kind of crazy shit, and then go complain when that other person has 10 kids, and it's like, you're complaining to the person that had an abortion, and you're gonna go complain to the person that has 10 kids collecting welfare. Okay, you're just being a hypocrite, I don't know. I just think this goddamn world, everybody's in a goddamn glass house, and they should not throw rocks, Really, should not.
Well, that's why they should just focus on health.
Or like JD said, themselves, but that's too scary, for a lot of people.
They can't handle it.
They can't handle, realizing they're nobody here.
I mean, because they're scared to build their own way of thinking. They go by what other people think. It's like, you could think the same, but just choose whatever the hell you want to think. Don't go by what other people think. Just go by whatever you think. That's all you can really do. Maybe some people have something in common that they think the same, but like Fano said, don't force people. If he believes in health, then that's you, and you live by those philosophies that you build yourself, and if that makes you happy, then go for it. I have my own, and then you have your own, and why the hell do we worry about who cares, who thinks the same or not?
Yeah.
Think whatever the hell you want to think.
Hey, JD,
Yeah.
Here's the thing I was thinking about too. My whole perspective of what I think about Los Angeles. I could never live in Los Angeles because of the traffic.
Mm-hmm.
And you've been living there for I don't know how many years now. Do you think the traffic's that bad in LA, or do you just it's just what it is?
It's just what it is. It's like when you go in the car with somebody and it either seems like a long ride or a short ride, but it's the same distance. It's just your experience at that time. So if I'm listening to music I like and I'm in the car and there could be bad traffic, but it's gonna go by fast to me. But I was having fun sitting in the car. Now if I'm miserable, then it's gonna be a different experience. So it doesn't really matter whether there's traffic or not. It just depends how you approach it.
But do you have to alter your you're traveling. Do you have to leave a little more earlier than other people to get to other places? You know.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, you have to plan ahead if there's going to be traffic. But I mean, it all depends if you like to drive or not. I mean, I like driving, so I don't really care. So it doesn't apply to me.
You probably love to be like a limo driver then, huh?
Yeah, I just love driving, but I'm true to myself. I don't do it just because, oh, it's easy or whatever. I mean, I just do it because I like it. Now, if you're doing it because it's easy, then you're selling out. You're just doing it to get a paycheck. I'm not. I'm doing it because I love doing it. I could do it all day.
You just
That's
love driving around, huh?
Yeah, that's why I do it. But I mean, don't do it just because I do it or you think it's easy. Do whatever the hell you like to do. You want to shoot guns or whatever, or you want to play football, then do that and let it be. I mean, just because all these football players make money in the NFL, I'm not gonna go play football just for the money. No, I don't like that shit, so I'm not gonna go and do that. But some people do. I'm not gonna judge them and be like, don't play football. I mean, good for you that whatever you do makes you a lot of money, but I'm not gonna do it just because it makes a lot of money. That doesn't make any sense.
What's the buzz with the LA Rams now? Are you?
We're talking about it, but I mean, it doesn't really matter. Like, who cares? People think
Do
about
people really want the Chargers to go up there?
These people just want something to do when they're bored.
So everybody in LA is happy that they have the Rams back.
Yeah, because there's something new to talk about and go to the bar and drink about.
So it's gonna lose its lust in a couple years, you think?
Yeah, it's just entertainment. I mean, it's just entertainment. What it is to entertain you.
Well,
That's its whole purpose.
Kind of
build it up to more than it should be.
It's kind of amazing that they're not even going to be playing in their new stadium for at least 3 seasons. Like, they're going to play this season, next season, and 3 seasons, like 3 whole seasons. And that's a lot in, like, NFL years before they're actually going to be playing in that futuristic stadium they're going to be. So, I mean, that's just crazy to even think about that, how, like, you guys got the Rams back. And possibly the Chargers are going to move in there too with them. And then the crazier thing is how the Raiders might come down and be the San Diego Raiders. And that's going to be a bizarre thing too. And then you're just going to go, and I thought about this today, is when all this happens, and maybe hypothetically this happens, and the Raiders come down here, you know, I think I'm just going to be a happy Raider fan. I'm just going to watch the Raiders and be happy that we have a team again. You know?
Yeah, just adapt to it. I mean,
yeah, I don't really care about the Chargers anymore at that point, you know?
But I mean, why do you have to have one team? Why can't you just like the whole game for what it is? But then we got to build of like, let's...
I really just can't love any...
I don't really give a fuck. I just root for whoever I like at that moment. That's it.
I just really can't love a team that's in LA. I really do not like LA. So,
Well,
I mean, the only team I like in LA is the Lakers, and they really suck right now. So,
yeah, I mean, I don't like the Lakers, and I live here, so it doesn't really matter. That's what I'm saying.
Then you got all these bandwagon Clipper fans now. You know, just jumping on the Clippers bandwagon.
Yes, I mean, it just shows that nobody liked the Clippers, and then they got good, and everybody likes them. So I mean, it just shows that people don't really care. All they want to do is win.
People like winners. You know, no matter what, people like winners. You know. This has been an hour with the Wolfpack. I'm signing out as your host, Mike. Thank you, JD, for being here today. Much appreciated. Fano, your words are enlightening.